The power of the tongue. Verses from ESV Bible. Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruits. Proverbs 15:4. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. Proverbs 13:3. Whoever guards his mouth preserves his life, he who opens wide his lips comes to ruin. Matthew 12:37. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Proverbs 21:23. Whoever keeps his mouth and his tongue keeps himself out of trouble. Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. Proverbs 15:1. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. James 3:6. And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. Matthew 12:36. I tell you, on the day of judgment people will give account for every careless word they speak. Proverbs 12:18. There is one whose rash words are like sword thrusts, but the tongue of the wise brings healing. James 3:8. But no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. Proverbs 10:19. When words are many, transgression is not lacking, but whoever restrains his lips is prudent. Proverbs 16:24. Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Psalm 141:3. Set a guard, O Lord, over my mouth, keep watch over the door of my lips. James 1:26. If anyone thinks he is religious and does not bridle his tongue but deceives his heart, this person's religion is worthless. James 1:19. Know this, my beloved brothers, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. Ephesians 4:25. Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. James 3:2. For we all stumble in many ways. And if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body. Matthew 12:36-37. I tell you, on the day of judgment people will give account for every careless word they speak, for by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. Colossians 4:6. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Psalm 34:13. Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. Colossians 3:8. But now you must put them all away, anger, wrath, malice, slander, and obscene talk from your mouth. Proverbs 18:2. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but only in expressing his opinion. Proverbs 17:9. Whoever covers an offense seeks love, but he who repeats a matter divides close friends. Proverbs 15:28. The heart of the righteous ponders how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours out evil things. Proverbs 11:13. Whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets, but he who is trustworthy in spirit keeps a thing covered. James 3:1-12. Not many of you should become teachers, my brothers, for you know that we who teach will be judged with greater strictness. For we all stumble in many ways. And if anyone does not stumble in what he says, he is a perfect man, able also to bridle his whole body. If we put bits into the mouths of horses so that they obey us, we guide their whole bodies as well. Look at the ships also, though they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are guided by a very small rudder wherever the will of the pilot directs. So also, the tongue is a small member, yet it boasts of great things. How great a forest is set ablaze by such a small fire! And the tongue is a fire, a world of unrighteousness. The tongue is set among our members, staining the whole body, setting on fire the entire course of life, and set on fire by hell. For every kind of beast and bird, of reptile and sea creature, can be tamed and has been tamed by mankind, but no human being can tame the tongue. It is a restless evil, full of deadly poison. With it, we bless our Lord and Father, and with it, we curse people who are made in the likeness of God. From the same mouth come blessing and cursing. My brothers, these things ought not to be so. Does a spring pour forth from the same opening both fresh and salt water? Can a fig tree, my brothers, bear olives, or a grapevine produce figs? Neither can a salt pond yield fresh water. Luke 6:45. The good person out of the good treasure of his heart produces good, and the evil person out of his evil treasure produces evil, for out of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaks. Proverbs 29:20. Do you see a man who is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for that man. Proverbs 26:20. When there is no more wood, the fire goes out, and where there is no whisperer, quarreling ceases. Proverbs 18:20. From the fruit of a man's mouth his stomach is satisfied, he is satisfied by the yield of his lips. Proverbs 16:28. A dishonest man spreads strife, and a whisperer divides close friends. James 4:11. Do not speak evil against one another, brothers. The one who speaks against a brother or judges his brother, speaks evil against the law and judges the law. But if you judge the law, you are not a doer of the law but a judge. Proverbs 15:2. The tongue of the wise commends knowledge, but the mouths of fools pour out folly. John 8:44. You are of your father the devil, and your will is to do your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning and has nothing to do with the truth because there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks out of his own character, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Matthew 12:34. You brood of vipers! How can you speak good when you are evil? For out of the abundance of the heart the mouth speaks. Proverbs 17:28. Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise, when he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent. Colossians 3:16. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly, teaching and admonishing one another in all wisdom, singing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, with thankfulness in your hearts to God. Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, from out of it flow the springs of life. Philippians 2:14. Do all things without grumbling or questioning. Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Ephesians 4:15. Rather, speaking the truth in love, we are to grow up in every way into him who is the head, into Christ. Proverbs 25:23. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue brings angry looks. Proverbs 20:19. Whoever goes about slandering reveals secrets, therefore do not associate with a simple babbler. Matthew 15:18. But what comes out of the mouth proceeds from the heart, and this defiles a person. Proverbs 19:5. A false witness will not go unpunished, and he who breathes out lies will not escape. 1 Peter 3:10. For whoever desires to love life and see good days, Let him keep his tongue from evil and his lips from speaking deceit. 1 Peter 3:9. Do not repay evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, bless, for to this you were called, that you may obtain a blessing. Proverbs 18:13. If one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame. Romans 12:14. Bless those who persecute you, bless and do not curse them. Proverbs 19:1. Better is a poor person who walks in his integrity than one who is crooked in speech and is a fool. Proverbs 27:5. Better is open rebuke than hidden love. Proverbs 25:11. A word fitly spoken is like apples of gold in a setting of silver. Ecclesiastes 5:2. Be not rash with your mouth, nor let your heart be hasty to utter a word before God, for God is in heaven and you are on earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Isaiah 54:17. No weapon that is fashioned against you shall succeed, and you shall confute every tongue that rises against you in judgment. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord and their vindication from me, declares the Lord. Proverbs 10:11. The mouth of the righteous is a fountain of life, but the mouth of the wicked conceals violence. Psalm 34:1. I will bless the Lord at all times, his praise shall continually be in my mouth.